All right, UFC 302 is just around the corner, going down in Newark, New Jersey. And in the main event, of course, it is Dustin The Diamond Poirier, or Dustin Last Chance Poirier, going up against Islam Makhachev, the sport's pound-for-pound #1 fighter on the entire planet. Now, bear with me. We're going to talk about, is Islam Makhachev underestimating Dustin Poirier? But you're going to have to bear with me because I'm in Costa Rica and there's a lot of animal noises and insects and all the rest of it, so apologies. Anyway, so Dustin Poirier, as we know, this will be his third chance fighting for the undisputed lightweight championship of the world. He was the interim champ when he beat Max Holloway. He lost the undisputed to Khabib. Then he lost again to Charles Oliveira. He's 35 years old, okay? 35, we know the curse that got Volkanovski. Poirier knocked him out. Poirier, by the way, says that he's fighting Max Holloway, but that's another video down the line. Says a date is to be announced soon, according to Poirier on Twitter. Anyway, back to Dustin Poirier, right? Everybody loves this guy, from the monumental victories over Conor McGregor, to some of the performances he's had in general, to the hot sauce, to the unbelievable victory that he had over Benoit Saint-Denis, where he proved that there's life in the old dog yet, that he's still got it, that he's not finished, that he's not being put out to pasture, and he's not damaged goods, okay? But because of that fight, Islam Makhachev has been doing some interviews, and I love Islam, he's tremendous, and he's saying, Dustin, I'm going to take him down, or he's going to jump for the gilly, which is his favourite submission, but he's never won via guillotine once.
And you miss all the ones you don't jump.
Then he's going to give his back up whilst he tries to stand, and then he's going to choke him out.
Take him down, he will try to give him guillotine, I will take his back and choke him. That's it.
And Mike Brown, the coach at American Top Team, and of course a mainstay in the corner of Dustin Poirier, feels like Islam might be underestimating him. But underestimate Dustin Poirier at your peril. This man is a jiu-jitsu black belt. He's got tremendous amounts of experience, and he knows this is it. This is his last time fighting for gold. When Charles Oliveira fought Arman Tsarukyan won. Arman Tsarukyan turned down the title fight. Hunter Campbell called Dustin Poirier straight away, and the next morning he flew back to Louisiana to get straight into training camp because he knows this is it. This is the last dance, the last chance saloon, the final time that he will get to fight for a belt. 3 times this is. 4 if you include the interim title fight. So it really is it. And at 35 years old, how much longer can this man go on? He's done it all. He's made the money. He's got the accolades. He's been the interim champion, but never the undisputed. And that's what everybody wants. So this is a tremendous fight. Now, Islam Makhachev has a very similar style in some respects to Khabib Nurmagomedov, who, with respect to Dustin, was able to go through him and do his typical thing, right? Made short work of him, breezed right through it and got the submission. Can Islam do that? Of course he can. Absolutely. Look at the last fight that Dustin had against Benoit Saint-Denis. Benoit Saint-Denis went forward with such reckless abandon that he just walked at him, bullied him, got him in the tie clinch, bullied him with knees, pounded him with knees and elbows, and took him down almost at will. Several times, of course, Dustin Poirier was jumping for the guillotine, and that's what Islam is looking at and thinking, if Benoit Saint-Denis can do this, a Frenchman who was in the army for a long time, then certainly I can do that. And that is true, but they don't necessarily have the same skill sets. Benoit Saint-Denis is like a madman. There's fire in his eyes. He goes forward and he just doesn't care. He just has an absolute old school, old-fashioned tear-up, okay? Islam is more calculated. And if you're going to underestimate his striking, well, look at what he did to Alexander Volkanovski in the rematch. A very, very, very well-rounded threat. But can Dustin get this done, okay? Because there's a lot of pressure riding on him here because he wants to be the champion, of course, and this is a lifelong ambition. But knowing that this is your last chance and going up against somebody like Islam Makhachev, it's not like you can just go out there and swing for the fences. When I was 37 and won the belt and I was fighting Luke Rockhold and it was on short notice, I was like, okay, I got to swing for the fences. But he's a striker, first and foremost, okay? Great ground game, of course, but I knew it was on the feet. If Dustin does that, he's going to walk into a takedown, okay? Islam Makhachev is going to take him down and he could have a field day. We just don't know. So, another wrinkle, Dustin Poirier says that his daughter's going to be there.
And my daughter's going to be there front row for the first time ever. I want to show her that you can accomplish your dreams.
And, you know, the old saying is, nobody's going to beat me in front of my daughter. That's just not going to happen. And people say that a lot. And, of course, there is extra added motivation. I've had my children there in the arena when I fought. And you do think that. You think there's no way I'm going to lose in front of my kids. There's one champion right now, and that's Luke Rockhold, and I get to fight him. Who's going to win?
I think
I can't do my moon project.
You know you should know better than to ask.
Why do you always say that I'm going to lose? But the reality is, it doesn't change a goddamn thing. It doesn't add extra pressure because when you're in there and you've got another opponent coming at you and they're swinging, they're taking you down, they're dropping elbows, whatever the case may be, right? You're thinking about your opponent. You're not thinking about anybody in the crowd. You're thinking about self-preservation. You're thinking about getting back to your feet and you're thinking, how do I turn this fight around? So the children being there, that's beautiful and I hope they can, because if Dustin can pull it off, and I'm no doubt he's going to be a pretty big underdog in this fight. If he can pull that off, could you imagine the scenes, Newark, New Jersey, Dustin Poirier with the belt wrapped around his waist, with his family there? I mean, what an absolute magnificent ending to a glorious career. Now, I'm not saying that Dustin would retire, but I'm just saying that moment there in time, that would be something special. It really would. But Islam Makhachev, he really is something special. He's not somebody to underestimate. And he's got so many different ways to win: submission, controlling, knockouts we've seen as well. And the man is getting better and better all the time. So that's that. That's the main event there at UFC 302. And of course, in the co-main event, it is the return of Sean Strickland going up against Paulo Costa. Now, this is an interesting one because Paulo Costa just lost to Robert Whittaker. Showed up, looked great, didn't get the job done, but a very entertaining fight. Paulo Costa's a monster of a man. He's an absolute beast. He's got a great sense of humor, always talking about the secret juice and stuff like that. But he's not a man to be underestimated. Look at that fight that he had with Yoel Romero. Some of the other performances that he has. This man has got a granite chin, right? He's got an excellent gas tank. He's gigantic for the division. Decent grappling as well. Excellent takedown defense. And Sean Strickland, there's a guy that's got beautiful boxing fights, predominantly behind the jab. He does have great jiu-jitsu, although we very, very rarely see it. And the man has risen to massive popularity. But Sean's got a lot to lose in this fight. Sean Strickland was the champion. He lost a very, very close split decision to Dricus du Plessis. If he loses this, he's out of the title fight situation for a long time. So when you look at this fight with Sean Strickland and Paulo Costa, how's it going to play out? Well, more than likely, it's going to play out on the feet, and that's just the way Sean Strickland wants it. It's going down in America, in New Jersey, and he's going to be very, very happy about that because he wasn't too thrilled about going up to Canada, was he? Now, when you look at the fight card in general, UFC 302, top to bottom, very good stuff. Makhachev versus Poirier, main event. Sean Strickland, Paulo Costa. Kevin Holland makes the return against Michal Oleksiejczuk. Jailton Almeida, he's taking on Alexander Romanov, another absolute beast of a man. And then opening up the main card, Rude Boy Randy Brown taking on Eliezer Zaleski dos Santos. So there's your main event there. And me, as I said, I'm currently in Costa Rica taking a nice bit of time out, a little bit of a downtime, a trip away with the missus. We're going to go for a walk now. We're going to go hiking on some hanging bridges. We're going to go check out some sloths. We're going to sit in some hot natural springs. We're going to disappear up a volcano. And who knows, this might just be the last video from me. Mikey B gets lost in the jungles of Costa Rica, never to be seen again. But anyway, if you're here still now, thank you for watching. Subscribe and ring the bell, and I will see you soon. But let me know in the comment section, Dustin Poirier, Islam Makhachev. This is such an important, pivotal fight in the career of Dustin Poirier. And it would almost be like a storybook ending, right? It really would. If Dustin Poirier, after all the ups and downs, the ridiculous highs, but then losing the title fights, if he could pull this off against Islam Makhachev, what a story that would be. And guess what? Dustin Poirier is not a man to underestimate, but neither is Islam Makhachev. I cannot wait for this fight. Thanks again for watching. Subscribe and ring the bell. I'll see you soon.